Hello and howdy everyone. I'm here to talk about Star Trek Into Darkness. I've seen it twice now. Kind of starting a new rule where I know if I see a movie twice, or if I know I'm going to see a movie twice, then I will wait until after my second viewing to record. Just, so I keep recording. I thought the movie was really good. I have no problems giving it a 9. I think it's, pretty much everything that a summer blockbuster science fiction spectacular should be. It was incredibly fun. It was smart, well acted, well directed, gorgeous, great villain. Intense, exciting. Special effects were outstanding. It's visionary. It's immersive. I just was really impressed. I would put it on equal footing with the first Star Trek reboot. If the first one has any type of edge, it's just the edge of originality and freshness. Perhaps the passion was a little bit higher. That's about it. I would, say that the two films are rather equal. Star Trek Into Darkness is about a terrorist, a lone terrorist, bringing the Starfleet Federation to its knees and revealing the corruption within. And then, the hunt to track down the terrorist and then to weed out and quelch the enemy within. It just was really good. I don't even know what to say about it. Stars Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Benedict Cumberbatch, Peter Weller, RoboCop, Peter Weller's in here. Who else? Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg. I can't think of his name. John Cho's in it. Basically a lot of mostly returning faces from the first Star Trek. Directed by J.J. Abrams, co-written by 3 people. I believe Robert Orsi was one of them, and was it? It's half the Lost Team. I can't remember if it's. What's his name? It's not Damon Lindelof. It's the other one, and now I can't remember his name. But anyway, he co-wrote this. There was 3 writers. Produced, directed by J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is highly skilled. He's one of our biggest, blockbuster directors. He's just skilled. He knows his way around a story. He's fantastic at handling mass projects. I feel that went in, mostly to the decision for him not taking over, but at least directing the next Star Wars film. I believe that, I guess it will be Star Wars 7. I believe that he won't direct anymore. I think that, personally, I don't agree with the decision. I think that he should, stick with Star Trek. I think he was doing a fine job with Star Trek. And now I'm kind of worried about Star Trek because, maybe, most likely they'll get someone new. I'm kind of hoping that Star Wars for J.J. Abrams is a paycheck. He's good at handling mass productions, blockbusters, corralling a giant team. So he's really good at that, and as well as, conveying action. He's an excellent director. So I think that they'll have him do that first Star Wars just to make sure it's done right. And then, for Star Wars 8, they'll get someone else, and hopefully J.J. Abrams will go back and complete, give us a trilogy of Star Trek films. But maybe he won't. Maybe they'll just move on to another direction now. But he does, he's done an outstanding thing for Star Trek, I believe. And maybe that's why they wanted him to handle Star Wars as well. I don't know. I still think it's an odd decision, to pick the guy who kind of brought Star Trek back to the cultural forefront, and now they're getting him to do Star Wars. I just think it's odd. Primarily because I was so strongly behind Brad Bird. I wanted Brad Bird to get the Star Wars films. Anywho, Star Trek Into Darkness, it's just great. I don't know what to say about it. It's, over 2 hours that just go by in a flash. They just disappear. I swear for like the last 40 minutes of the film, I'm, sitting on the edge of my seat. It's just intense. All the performances are, fantastic. Maybe some of the characters aren't like fully fleshed out. There are only like 2 female characters here with, Lieutenant Uhura and the new science officer, the blonde, gorgeous, who in the trailer is in her underwear, because she looks fantastic in her underwear. Perhaps are a little underwritten, they're kind of just stereotypical female characters in a way, just kind of there to be, not like fully, but they're not, utilized in, too many tremendous new ways. They basically play into kind of female stereotypes. Sci-fi is definitely male-driven. That's true. I was going to say that basically, Star Trek, at least these past, couple of films, these new reboot or whatever reimaginings, it's really about the bromance. It's about the bromance between Kirk and Spock, Chris Pine and Zachary Quinto. And then, like, every other character kind of fills out the spaces in between. When it's not so bromantic, we get some pieces of another character. Maybe Star Trek has always been that way, but it seems like the bromance is definitely at the forefront here in these versions. And, some of the characters have something interesting to do. Chekhov? I believe he's played by Anton Yelchin. Does pretty much nothing in this film. He's maybe in 2 scenes. I think he only has a couple of lines. That's what I'm talking about is, you get to see some of your favorite characters, I suppose, but, they're only in it very briefly. Except for Kirk and Spock, which, their relationship, dominates the film. And then you've got this bad guy, Benedict Cumberbatch, I believe John Smith, because I don't want to say his true name, though I suppose that's widely known by now, who comes in between them, who literally, pretty much severs that friendship, that bromance. And he must pay the price for that. If there's a reason why I'm not giving it a 10 or a higher score, it's one, because I thought that, we get to see too many faces without knowing too much about them. It's just, again, Kirk and Spock centric. Second, and really, this isn't bad for me, but like I can tell that it's won't be great for some, but yet I think it falls in perfectly with the science fiction genre, and that's the acting. All the acting is really good here. In fact, sometimes I feel that the acting is too good, especially with Benedict Cumberbatch. Again, the villain. Your science fiction superhero movie is only as good as your villain, and the villain is great here, and he's just brought to life by Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm a big fan of his. I've been watching the BBC Sherlock Holmes series since it came out. I think because I'm a big Sherlock fan, and I think he's a fantastic actor. Here, it's just, they let him give free rein. Whatever he wanted to do, he could do it in terms of performance. And there are times when when I laughed, where he gets to chew the scenery. And I love that. I love watching an actor, a good actor, take chances and be out there and weird. Just, it's almost like an unnaturalistic, performance. It's like, you never see people, act like that out in, reality. His performance, and, to a lesser extent, but to the same extent, to a lesser extent, but in the same vein, Kirk is the same way. They're all, and Spock too, they're all highly stylized performances in a highly stylized film. And, it can border on cheesy. But I don't think they get, the camera doesn't linger on them, or they're not, we don't get to see too much after that, but it, I giggled. I was giggling with glee, with happiness, but, I'm still giggling. And, I'm sure they want him to be terrifying. And whatever, I just kind of think it's funny. His acting is so big, his acting is so big that, again, he kind of makes the film, or helps to make the film, but it's just like, all right, rein yourself in a little bit, but still, it's just, it makes me happy, it gives me joy, so I'm not, it's a good thing for me, but I could see where some people would think, oh, well, that was too cheesy, it was too overacting for me, but not for me. Again, I'm just like trying to think of things that could are criticisms, and there's not much, sometimes like the cinematography was slightly buggy to me, because there's always, I think of it as a Spielberg move. There's always like bright lights, in the camera, so there's always like lights shining at you, through the lens. So I guess sometimes those were a bit distracting. I think that those were more that, I guess in space, light would be coming from anywhere, and also as a more practical effect, I think it's kind of an editing tool, when one of those lights kind of hits the screen really bright, I think, that's probably an editing cut or something like that. Special effects are outstanding. Costumes, makeup, anything technical, anything practical is, incredibly well done here. Performance is all good. Very well written, very smart, very timely. It's, I think, speaking of today's, modern age, which I think is what Star Trek has always tried to do. So I think that it really, I guess, what are they, an allegory for modern life? I think it really fits into that nicely. made me think, made me feel. Again, like sat on the edge of my seat for the last, third act of the film. I really like how it plays. Perhaps some fanboys don't like it, but I really like how it plays with the Star Trek universe and the timelines, especially with its practically mirror image ending of Star Trek. What is it? Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. I really enjoyed that. I kind of wanted to watch Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan to prep for this film. I didn't, but I didn't really need to because so much of it came flooding back as I was watching it. But I really liked the twist, and the connection to Wrath of Khan. I just really liked it. I think it's so far the summer blockbuster to beat. I have high hopes for Superman, but maybe not. Maybe this'll still take it. I don't think I have much else to say. I just really enjoyed it. I just thought it was fantastic. A great film. Yeah, okay. So that's Star Trek Into Darkness. I've seen it twice, and I give it a solid 9. It's the summer blockbuster to beat so far. Thanks.